May what I'm about to say be seen as educational content and not an attack against anybody I made you at stitch or comment on. And I remember a while back, everybody was going crazy about this piece of shit, Mr. Cat Williams, who seemed to declare who's seen as masculine and who isn't. And now Cat Williams is under fire for saying that children shouldn't be exposed to LGBT content cartoons. He's the one you was all bigging up. He's the one you were saying he's right to say that men are being demasculated and we should all be aware of it. And it turns out he's a raging homophobe. And let's show you why this is disgusting and that some of the most prominent people and activists came from the black diaspora. Here is Marsha P. Johnson. Marsha P. Johnson, 1945 to 1992, was a pioneering African-American transgender activist, drag queen and foundational figure in the modern LGBTQ rights movement. Known as the Saint of Christopher Street, she was a central figure in New York's gay liberation movement for over 2 decades. Stonewall Uprising. Johnson was a prominent participant in the Stonewall riots, which were sparked by a police raid on the Stonewall Inn, while legends often credit her with throwing the first brick. Johnson was a prominent participant in the Stonewall riots, like I said, which were sparked by a police raid on the Stonewall Inn, while legends often credit her with throwing the first brick. She self-deprecatingly stated she arrived after the rioting had already begun. The Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries in 1970, alongside close friend Sylvia Riviera, she co-founded STAR, one of the first organisations dedicated to providing housing and support for homeless LGBTQ youth and sex workers. AIDS activism. During the 1980s and early 90s, she became an active member of ACTA, AIDS Coalition to Unleash Power, advocating for healthcare and reforms and caring for friends dying of the disease. This is James Baldwin. Early life. Born in Harlem, Baldwin was the eldest of 9 children and worked as a teenage preacher before turning to writing. Seeking to escape the racism and homophobia of the United States, he moved to Paris in 1948 and spent much of his later life in the south of France. He returned to the US to join the civil rights movement, participating in the March on Washington and the Selma to Montgomery marches. His unfinished manuscript, Remember This House, was the foundation for the award-winning 2016 documentary, I Am Not Your Negro. But you would rather listen to this piece of shit who thinks he's fit to determine what's the figure and features of a black man, how masculine they should be, and you all went on it in your droves and said you was right. As far as I'm concerned, he's a fucking Sambo. He's anti-LGBTQIA+, and he's everything that we shouldn't be. And he is a reason why there is toxic masculinity in black cultures. I have worked prominently with people who have been marginalized because of men like him, men who've gone on to try and unalive themselves, ended up self-medicating with substances, and ended up in institutions like mental health care homes, because men like him want to decide which is the true face of masculinity in the black diaspora and who isn't. As far as I'm concerned, he's a fucking disgrace, and now I've given you evidence why I called him out a couple of years ago. You see, I like to be a little bit different. I don't go with the baying crowd. Outcast villain era has begun and will fucking continue. Professor Moriarty, Field Commander of the Villains Guild and leader of the Outcast Nation, has spoken, but will speak again.